Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Bhagavadgita, chapter 2, verse 15. Yam vinam vedyantete purusham purusharsabha samadukasakondheram somurtatvaya kalpate. To that person to whom Sitoshna Sukhadukkadaha, heat and cold, pleasure and pain or distress does not affect. That person, Yamina Vyadhyantyete. Vyadhyanti means distress. He feels the pain. To whom it does not affect. Purusham Purusharsabha. Samadukka Sukham Dheram. Sukham means happiness. Dukkham means distress, sorrowfulness. Dheram means steady. Both in happiness and in sorrowfulness. Who is steady and to whom Sitosha Sukhadukkadaha, what we discussed yesterday in verse 14, does not affect. There is cold and heat, happiness and sorrowfulness, does not affect. Somrtatvaya kalpate. Saha, that person, amrtatvaya, is eligible for liberation, for salvation. So verse 14 and 15 put together, Lord Krishna put the conditions who are eligible for salvation. The first condition for eligibility of salvation, if you combine together both verses, equanimity, both in distress as well as in happiness. Sukha Dukkha, Sita Ushna, Dvandas. You should be above the dualities. You should be above the dualities. Now, here Arjuna in this verse is addressed as Purusharsabha. Purusharsabha means noblest among men. Purusham, Purusharsabha. Noblest. Again indicating, Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, Arjuna, you are a great man, you are a great person. Sometimes he has addressed him as Gudakesa, means you won over the ignorance, you won over the sleep, you won over Tamoguna. Sometimes he has addressed him as Parantapa, you can smash your enemies, you are all in all. No enemy can stand in front of you, you are Parantapa, destroyer of the enemies. Kaunteya, he has addressed Arjuna as Kaunteya, as Bharata. You belong to a very rich civilization, very high lineage. You are the inheritor of such great civilization. What does it mean? So Krishna has complete faith on Arjuna, that he is capable of winning over the enemies. Therefore, he is addressing Arjuna as Purusharsabha, as Kaunteya, as Gudakesa, as Parantapa. The discussion is between Lord Krishna and Arjuna, and Krishna is addressing Arjuna with all these names. Now, if you remove Arjuna, you put yourself into that position. Gita for the present day. Do we have those cultures? Yes. You are a divine sparkle. You are Jivatma. So long you are thinking at body level, mind level, intellectual level, the way the delusion affected Arjuna, the same has affected you, affected me, affected the whole mankind. We have to develop this culture. That we have to come out of this body, mind and intellectual level, we have to come out, we are Jivatma. We have to develop, we have to start thinking in this direction. Then one day we can also be Parantapa. You may ask me, Parantapa means destroyer of enemies. Am I a king? Am I going to kill the enemies? No. We have so many enemies inside us. Arishadvarga, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. So many enemies are there, well established in our system. We become angry. We have so many unlimited desires. We have a lot of greediness. Every pleasure we want in this world. We have a lot of discrimination. All these enemies are well established and deep rooted in our system. They come at the appropriate time and destroy our mental peace. So here we can be Parantapa to kill the internal enemies which are well embedded from birth to birth, from lakhs of births or crores of births, I don't know. Those sanskaras are embedded in our subtle body. So we have to kill those enemies. For that we have to take the help of Lord Krishna and Bhagavadgita. Next, Dhiram. Samadukka Sukam Dhiram. Dhiram means steady. The pleasures and pains, when they come and when they go, we must maintain the steadiness. That is another precondition for salvation. Somutatvaya kalpate, saha amutatvaya kalpate. Who is eligible for salvation? Who is eligible for liberation? Only men? Or only women? Or only Brahmins? Which caste? Which creed? Here Lord Krishna did not say anything. He simply said, you must possess the qualities in verse 14 and 15. In verse 14 he said, Sitoshna Sukha Dukkhadaha. Here he said, Samadukka Sukham Dheram. If I combine these two and speak to you, develop equanimity under all circumstances. Pleasures and pains or distress, whatever they are fleeting. They come, they go. They are not permanent. You maintain your mental equilibrium. You trust God. Your mind should not oscillate like a pendulum. In happiness, swayed one side. In sorrowfulness, you sway the other side. Maintain steadiness under all circumstances. This too will pass away. Have trust, have confidence. Then your eligibility for liberation, your eligibility for salvation, or the so-called moksha will come into the picture. We have to develop this nature. Next. So all castes are eligible for salvation. Only Brahmins is not the question. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, men, women, all are eligible. Only animals I cannot say because they do not have the intellect. They don't have the discriminating power. God has given us that power. So let us use every minute of our life towards liberation, towards salvation. How? By maintaining equanimity under all circumstances. Why do we want liberation? Why do we want salvation? Why we crave always for happiness? Why not this material pleasures give us permanent happiness? Here two questions we are posing. One, why we want happiness? Two, why don't we get happiness in this world? Why we want happiness? Because you are Satchitananda. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat means truth. Which truth? Which will never change, which is permanent. Chit means consciousness. Ananda, permanent Ananda. There is not a fleeting Ananda which comes and which goes. Our nature is Satchitananda. We are disconnected from the nature. So long we do not reconnect back to our nature, we will have this problem. A child is misplaced in a marketplace. He runs, he looks after his mother. He beeps. So long he is again not reconnected back to his mother. Once we hand out the child to his mother, he feels shame, happiness. Till then, whatever toys you will offer, he will not take. Whatever sweets offer, he will not take. He will only say, I want my mother. In the same manner, we all are Jivatmas. We are divine sparkles. We are part and parcel of that Paramatma. We have to reunite. We have to re-establish. This disconnection we have to remove. Till we re-establish our connection with the Almighty, till the Jivatma sees Paramatma, this distress will continue. The day we become Satchidananda, then only the distress will go away. The next question is, why don't we get pleasures in this world? Yeah, these five senses continuously run after pleasures. Which pleasure is permanent? You want to eat a good dish that gives pleasure for half an hour. That is over. In our life, from childhood to till date, so many pleasures you have enjoyed. They are not permanent. They are coming, they are going. In the same manner, so many pains you also have undergone. They have come, they have gone. They do not leave a permanent impact on our mind. They do not give us a permanent pleasure. They are temporary. Some for hours, some for days, some for years. Again we run after happiness. So it again proves that none of the worldly pleasures are permanent. They are temporary only. They come, they go. Agamapaino, anicca. Yesterday we discussed in verse 14. They come, they go, anicca. They are temporary. So the conclusion is, worldly pleasures are temporary. Satchidananda is permanent. Our original connection is with Paramatma. We are Jivatma. We are part and parcel of the Paramatma. So long we are not reunited with Paramatma, this distance will continue. Nothing in this world can give us permanent happiness. They are illusory. They are temporary. Whatever we feel we are enjoying, we only know. After some time we will say, no, enough is enough. So many pleasures we have undergone. So many pains we have undergone. So, life itself is a training center. In this life, we have come across various pleasures. We come across various pains. We should develop the concept of equanimity. The moment we develop this habit and able to maintain steadfastness, steady under all circumstances, the growth starts for higher level of consciousness. The way for every class, from class 6 to 7 or class 7 to 8, there is an eligibility test for promotion. From class 10 to 12, there is an eligibility test for promotion. For MBBS entrance, CA entrance, for all exams there are entrances are there. What is that? That is an eligibility test, whether you can do, you are eligible to do that course or not. In the same manner, in the spiritual realm also, we must follow, we must pass all these life tests. In our life, when we are going through various pleasures and pains, the day we start maintaining equanimity and we are not swayed by like pendulum this side and that side, then our growth in the spiritual world starts. So take the life as a training center. Take the life as a challenging training center. Let every experience of your life, let every pleasure of your life, let every pain of your life feel this is transient, this is temporary, this comes and this goes. I am Sakhi, I am a witness. It cannot disturb me. I will maintain my equilibrium. I will maintain my steadiness. That is the training we have to learn from verse 14 and 15. So, a mother can sacrifice many things for the happiness of her child. So, sacrifice is a precondition. Sacrifice is a precondition for higher pleasures. In the same manner, to grow in spiritual life, many things we have to sacrifice in the material world. Without sacrificing, we cannot grow. You cannot say, I will have this also, I will have that also. No. These two are two distinct, different poles apart. So we should be ready for certain sacrifices to grow in the spiritual world. So what is the take home? The take home is, who is eligible for salvation? Who is eligible for moksha or liberation? That person who is steadfast in pleasure and pain, in happiness and sorrowfulness, and feels these are temporary, they come, they go. Each happiness dies on the same day, or each pain also will die on the same day. That is the first condition for salvation. Second point is, when the wind flows over a rose garden, it takes the fragrance of the rose and goes out. When the wind passes through a dirty canal, also the smell of the dirty canal, the wind takes out. So one place to another place, either rose fragrance goes or the smell of a dirty canal goes. Let me repeat again. When the wind is passing in a rose garden, it is taking the fragrance. Wind is a carrier. When the wind is passing in a dirty canal, it takes the dirtiness smell only. We say what bad smell it is coming. Oh, these physical feelings we have already undergone. In the same manner, when this Jivatma leaves this body and goes to another body, it takes away all the samskaras which you have cultured, which you have nourished in the whole your life. So what is that? Take home. Please develop good samskaras, good cultures. Read Bhagavadgita, read Bhagavatam, listen spiritual lectures. See that no bad samskaras are there. What is good samskara and what is bad samskara? As we read chapter 12, chapter 16 of Bhagavad Gita, and as we go advanced, God has given clear-cut instructions in Bhagavad Gita. What are good, what is bad. Chapter 16, Daiva Asura, who are demons, who are devatas. So let us be devatas. Let us have only rose fragrance. Let all dirtiness be cleared. The way we take bath with water and clean our body, let us read Bhagavad Gita and clean our mind. Then only the good samskaras will come. Jnanagni dagdha karmani, accumulated samskaras are embedded in our mind, in our subtle consciousness. They have to be destroyed. They can be burned only through Jnanagni, fire of knowledge. So I humbly request all devotees, all the viewers, all the listeners to read Bhagavad Gita as it is, to read Bhagavatam as it is, to read the spiritual scriptures and see that all these bad samskaras before death are burnt. Only good samskaras remain. Then our eligibility for liberation or salvation comes. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.